Okay, so anyway, I was chatting about old Inchbrakie house, and I'll put up information for you of what I was trying to chat about, but simply the Witch of Manee was in working at the House of Inchbrakie under the Grahams, Patrick Graham, a different Patrick Graham of course than the one I was talking about when Cromwell hammered the door and set fire to the building. But so 1715. So it's, I mean, the house fell into wreck and ruin, and the Witch of Manee, as she was so called, although I've often said I don't believe she was a witch. I believe she was just misfortune. She may, I mean, who knows, she may well have taken the cutlery and put it in her apron or something like that when she's at service or anything, and inadvertently walked home with it and not realise until later. But because of the bee that circled the room and the highly suspicious nature of people at that time, and the fork and knife was missing, or the fork at least, they just thought that the bee had come in, and the bee was actually a witch and taken the fork and the knife. There's something very odd about it all, and then they went to her house and they traced the cutlery, and she was hauled off and convicted by the church and the landowners and sentenced to death on the knock at a place that I've told you before, Cape McNiven's Rock. There's two stories. She was tied to the stake and burned alive, and the other one she was stuck in a barrel set alight and rolled down the hill, which is probably more the case. And where the witch's stone is, as anyone who follows my vlog will have realised, I pointed that out before, and you can get a notice of that one from June 2023 when I went to visit Manee Castle. Well, that's where the barrel's meant to have landed, which kind of makes sense. It would have been hurtling down that brae. It's all going quiet behind me. I think they've probably massacred about 30 pheasant in that shoot. It was quite rapid and quite loud for a little while, but they'll calm down again. They'll probably get another slug of whiskey or something like that. There they are, I spoke too soon. Maybe it's me they want to try and get now. No, I'm only joking. It's a necessary part of the country life, and so much has changed. I don't know. I think everything's was perfect, and they decided it was too perfect and they wanted to ruin it, simply because they don't like people being happy. And they found out that people like looking at scenery. They found out that it makes people feel better to look at the mountains and or beyond the mountains, or look at sunsets, and they decided, well, that's not good enough. Let's industrialise it all. We'll put up wind turbines, and that'll spoil everything for them. So I always thought that Inchbrakie Castle was on here, but it did say it was surrounded by a moat, and there was water down where that chap said that the original part of it was. So, well, he'll know, I'm sure. I've been looking at the map, and it's oh yeah, I took a snap of that map. Not the old map. The old map was much clearer than the bloody new one. Hold on, Annie, we'll check her phone. So that's that property called Inchbrakie, which I was telling you about when I'd done some work for this duck pond. And it's pointed out that Inchbrakie Castle was over this way. So there's sheep being released into this field. So I'm going this way. Not just, one false movement and start to scatter. So I'll try and get this way. So that's Inchbrakie Farm, and according to my map, the castle was on a raised slope. So I'm still convinced it's over here. I'm convinced. If not, I mean, the chap, the gamekeeper chap, I think it was, says no, I think it's down there, but just because the monument's there doesn't actually, well, no, Andy, come on, it said on the stonework. Remember when you read the plaque? It actually said on the site of the house. So what the hell are you doing up here? Well, why is the map wrong? Why is the historical map wrong? Come on. Both can't be correct. Look at the larch trees, aren't they beautiful? Isn't the meadow? Look at this, this is wonderful scenery. Look at, see through there. This is what I mean. See that bloody pylon in the way of everything? When they raised the pylons back in 2012, 2013. They never used to be that high. It spoils everything. But look at the back where Craig McAlpin, from King McAlpin time. That's why I was named. And up to the mountains I know well. Across there to the Knock, Calms Hill and stuff, you see. I mean, if you think, Montrose is over there, the other side, Camp Tower, this is right. He maybe had the same difficulty trying to find bloody Inchbrakie House as I did today. And he'd probably say, like, let's go, it's over this way somewhere. And that little rascal Marcus of Montrose, he's bound to be here. So they've marched across this way. And they've said, oh, there's a bloody thing down there. And the troops are still, I'm not going down there. Listen to all that gunfire. But anyway, Cromwell's mob did arrive, and as I say, Cromwell burnt the place to bits. Not only that, I found out that when I was up at Kenmore Hotel a couple of years back, staying, I never put it on any on the vlog, but in fact you get a real sense of just how high these mountains are, Andy, that you are upon from this angle. A much better angle, isn't it? Look at that. Yeah, so Cromwell, when he's up at Kenmore, on the door it says 1572, but apparently it's much older. It goes back to 1502. And when Cromwell arrived at Kenmore, they burnt bloody everything. He must have been a bit of a pyromaniac, this man. And but he got to Kenmore and apparently enjoyed the hospitality and the hostelry so much he saved it from the torch. And that's why the Kenmore Hotel is still standing. Isn't that fascinating? Quite simply, he's probably slept in the same bed as me. Well, not quite any, but you know what I mean. Where the hell is these guns there? Are they aiming east or west? I think it must be aiming east. It sounds like the echo's coming this way. Yeah, I think moat. It was surrounded by a moat. I'm making this too long, aren't I? Possibly any. Yeah. Sheep are there, laddie. Come, sir. Well, if it's in here, it's in here, but if not, I don't know. I'm convinced it's in here, Andy, because there's the farm. There's a track. Maybe it's just a bit of a nuisance these chaps turned up for a shoot just at the very time I was doing some exploration, because I might have gone into that area, at least in the on the round. But lovely, really beautiful countryside. That's not the castle area, that has, for sure. Good afternoon to you lot. Listen, I'm not causing any problems for you, so don't be jumping around. So I've come for a little clamber through the wood here, and the shooting has eased again as they gather numbers and allow the dogs to go and gather the fallen fowl. FOWL. Yes. Well, I thought it might have been up here, but from this viewpoint, Annie, we may well get an idea from the lie of the land if it is indeed up here or down where they suggest. Actually, yes, I think it was down there, Andy. Look, there's the farm. Track up. No, it's an elevated ground. It's not. It's up here. There's no sign of it. And when they say that it was at this point, I think it's somewhere here. Yes, definitely. I do. I actually believe this. It was somewhere up here. Now, I may be mistaken, but the map allows me from the farm, the track is further along from the farm. I come up to that point over there, and it's in raised level. So this is the only raised ground that I can see. And we wouldn't build a castle, you would want to build it as high as possible. So this to me is the site of the Inchbrakie house that was burnt to the ground by Cromwell. So they may well have rebuilt it over there, and that's what the stone commemorates, the other house that was destroyed and taken down. I think I've got that sorted, Annie. I think I'm correct. Yes, I think I am. But, I'll load it. Somebody might say, well, no, you're completely wrong. There's Cult of Y over there. Look, it's gorgeous, isn't it, Annie? It really is. Look at Gilmanton. I'll zoom in for this shot for Gilmanton. It's an unusual shot for this one today. Isn't that beautiful? That's where I stay, in that lovely little hamlet. There we go, there's the moat. I mentioned the moat to you earlier on. So yes, perhaps it was just in there, Annie. No, I'm sticking with what I've said. That's the moat. Let's get another picture of that moat from the other side, Annie. Let's get a picture of Inchbrakie Farm in the light. Isn't that gorgeous?